Hey guys, Grizz here, and today this just in, really cool little knife just came in the mail not an hour ago, and I'm already doing a video on it because I can't wait. I can't find out much info on it, but it's such a cool knife, so I figured maybe I would ask you guys for help. So yeah, check this out. This is a big, chunky, officer's style knife, or Swiss Army knife clone, if you will. It's big. It's yeah, there's a 91 millimeter next to it, so it's every bit of probably 100 millimeters, maybe 105, something like that. But super cool knife with what I believe is staghorn scales, or steer horn, not stag, steer horn. Could be something else, but it's not. I don't think it's buffalo. It might be buffalo. I don't know. I'm no horn expert, but man, it's such a cool knife. Exposed pins. Yeah, some mice got to it somewhere along the way. It's got a couple little chew marks here and up here. No big deal though. That's very common. Horn apparently is very tasty to mice and rats, and also there's some bugs that eat it too, worms and stuff like that. But man, check out this bird's eye rivet. And notice, you can barely see the pin. It's got a huge washer on it, but it's actually a very thick pin. Very well made knife. Got a little bail on it. Nothing wrong with that. Looks great. I don't really like the bails for carrying, but I do think they just make a vintage knife look so the part. I did some very light sanding on the scales just because they had some scratches in them. But I don't like messing with them too much. If I can just leave them be, I'll leave them be. But man, yeah, here's your front scale. It's just all dark, but then your back scale has that milky white area in it that just is outstanding. That contrast is beautiful. I love when the horn knives have different color scales on each side. Anyway, let's get into the actual parts of this knife. And first, right off the bat, we've got a treat here. Look at this awl. It's got a little decorative element on here. It's triangular. Most of these European style awls are quarter round, but this one has a flat face on it. Very cool. Very sharp 90-degree edge here. This would be great for sparking a fire steel, or for using as an awl. Notice the beautiful brass liners that match the pins, but we've got a steel pin in the bail and brass everywhere else. Very cool. Then on the back, we've got a 4-turn corkscrew with a great pull on it. Yeah, that's a little dirty. She's a little dirty in there. I missed a spot. What's that about? You know, you got to get your rag out, and you got to have some polish on it, and maybe. That's a little better. I might have to do some sanding in there. But, yeah, she's got a little shine to her now. But, man, what a cool knife. And the build quality is excellent. Everything is nice and flush up here. There's nothing proud. There's nothing recessed other than what's recessed by design. But, like on cheaper knives, a lot of times the springs are either proud of the liners or they're sunken in. And that is not the case here. Very well built knife. Very solid. So for our first layer, we've got the classic can opener. Bam. Obviously, I'm sure this is stainless steel. It doesn't say stainless, inox, rust-free on it. We'll get to that. It doesn't give you much info. So I'm hunting for info on this guy. But man, great snap all around. Great sound. The cap lifter. Big stubby cap lifter. Thinking about grinding down this point back here. I think it might look better sitting if this is rounded off. But I'll give that some careful thought before I jump in. It's got a little bit of pitting on it, but otherwise in great shape. Probably barely ever used. Very common. These old knives were gifts or something like that. Somebody threw them in a drawer and never gave them a second thought. Then we've got, check out these scissors with the dual nail nick action. You've got options for opening these scissors. Let me see how that works out again. Let's close that bag up. Yeah, well, you can't reach the one. And that, yeah, I don't know what to think about that. I wonder if that is a factory error or their parts, you know, came in with the one nail nick and they realized it didn't work, so they added the other. I really don't know, but either way, these are very nice scissors. Definitely on par with what Victorinox offers. They cut fantastic. Their action is flawless. They sound good. They're not loose or anything. They're just, what a great pair of scissors. And they snap right into place like they should. Next up, check this out. This Bowie style clip blade. I mean, I see these kind of clips on bigger knives, usually on like junky Pakistan made Bowies and stuff like that, but this is just a cool little clip blade. A very extreme clip, brings the point up right there. Yeah, that's some very interesting physical properties to this blade, but very nice blade. Again, excellent action, excellent snap. Next up, the main event, the main blade. Nice, thick, stout main blade. Probably the factory edge on it. It doesn't look like it's ever been sharpened. It's not particularly sharp. It's not dull. It's about as sharp as most boxes come out. Most knives come out of the factory box, like cheap knives, I mean. But here's the stamp, and it's tiny. But what it says is Ausonius or Ausonius. There's a hyphen between the A and the word, but I have a feeling it's Ausonius. But yeah. The seller says it's Italian. I have no way to verify that. I did some Googling and didn't really find anything except listings for this knife and some weird knives. And apparently there was some a Greek guy named Ausonius, and that's all I find when I look for them. So I have no idea if this knife was made in Italy. But see what I'm saying about grinding down this cap lifter? I think if I took this whole knife would look much better if I rounded off this corner on the cap lifter right here. I just think it sticks up a little high, unnecessarily so. And I think if I just leveled this off a little bit, it would look much better. But I'm still very pleased with it as it is. Very nice, well-crafted knife. There's no wobble in this thing whatsoever, which is outstanding because a lot of these old knives are a little loose, especially when they have a bail, because the bail is part of a structural piece, and it has to be loose enough to move. A lot of times, if you get a bail knife, check down the bail end, and the blades will be loose, but nice and tight. So that is an Ausonius, allegedly from Italy. If anybody knows anything, please let me know down below. I will appreciate it very much. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Petey Grizz out.